And also, there's a toll and customs check here. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good.
Where are you going, sir?
Just over to Malmö.
To do what?
For coffee. I know I said at the start of the last vlog that I was going to go to 3 countries over the next 7 days. Spain, Andorra, and here in Denmark. But there's been a change in plan. You see, I decided to add another country to that list. I decided to go to Sweden today. I'm leaving this beautiful city of Copenhagen. I didn't really explore it too much, but I did get out in the countryside quite a bit. And yesterday we were filming some cool content here in the city center. But I've never been to Sweden and I want to add that country to my list. So let's get going. In theory, this trip should be easy. It's just a 45-minute drive across a big bridge, and into Sweden. Fingers crossed, because I have a flight later on today, so I'm not gonna have much time in Sweden. And stick with me, because at the end of this video, after I fly from here in Denmark to Italy, I'm gonna tally up all the countries I visited and share with you my list. This is crazy because first we have this 4K long tunnel underneath the Øresund Strait, and then we pop up at this Danish island. And from there, well, we have this massive long 8-kilometer bridge, the Øresund Bridge. And just like that, in the middle of the bridge, there is a sign. I crossed the border from Denmark and I'm in Sweden. Crossing the border does not come without its price. And also, there's a toll and customs check here. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good.
Where are you going, sir?
Just over to Malmö.
Okay, to do what?
For coffee. Woo, and success! We're over the border into Sweden officially. I had to stop here for a second. A couple of surprising things. One is that there was a border control. Both Denmark and Sweden are in the EU, but it's different rules up here when you're crossing from country to country, but they do check your passport. And the other thing, the first impression is that this looks and feels like Denmark. Though we're in Sweden, it could be mistaken for Denmark. Now I'm in this little town of Malmö. It's the first big town after you cross the border here into Sweden. I have a friend Marcus from Sweden, but I met him on the roads riding around Florence, and he's from nearby Gothenburg. Well, he comes here to Malmö often when he's in Sweden, and he recommended. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good. Can I order a coffee?
Sure.
So a couple of stories. First, one of regret. I had a trip to San Juan in Argentina, and that's just right over the border from Chile. So ahead of the trip to Argentina, there was a bike race there. I booked a round-trip ticket from the airport there in Argentina over the border into Santiago de Chile. Well, when the time came after 10 days there following the bike race, I was tired. It was my return trip, first to Buenos Aires and then back to Italy, and I had an extra day, and I had that round trip to get to Santiago de Chile. In the end, I skipped it and just spent an extra day in Argentina to recharge my batteries. I think when I got back to Italy, I had another trip planned right away to China, so I wanted to rest a little bit. However, I look back at that and I regret not making the trip to Chile for the first time. And then I have a cool story. I was with my friends Peter and Aaron. We were on a trip through the Middle East. We just crossed the border from Jordan into Israel, and we were in Israel for one night down in the southern town called Eilat. Eilat is very close to the border also with Egypt, so we decided that night to jump into a taxi and have him take us to the border with Egypt. And from there we walked across the border into this border town on the other side called Taba. And the border crossing is very tricky because Egypt and Israel, well, they're not great friends, but it was truly worth it because over there we had a beer, we had a laugh at this hotel, and all of us, we still laugh about it today when we see each other about making that trip over to Egypt to have a beer and adding another country to our list. Bye. Coffee in Sweden. Hey, just to confirm that, I paid the toll to come back from Sweden into Denmark, and I'm now starting my drive over the bridge. That was 55 euro just to go one way from Sweden to Denmark. This next part's crazy. You have to look at some photos online because after you cross the bridge, you're coming over, you pass the border, and we're now in Denmark, and then you go in a tunnel. You enter the tunnel in this little island in the middle of this strait. So check out some photos online of this because it's spectacular. The road just disappears into the water. Frankfurt is bad, but this place is bad too, Copenhagen Airport. And that security, well, they shook me down. Maybe pull out all the liquids, put them in a separate Ziploc. They say it's for the flight and it's for your safety because the last thing you want is your shampoo exploding mid-flight all over to your clothing. Look at it up there, right up there, see that? There you go. Little oasis in the desert. This is the Carlsberg Aviator Lounge. So the plan is to have a little food, have a little beer, and get some work done. You know, I really enjoyed these past 3 days in Denmark. We spent 2 solid days out in western Denmark. And then on the 3rd day, again sunshine, and we took a beautiful tour of Copenhagen, seeing all the places where the 2022 Tour de France will start on July 1st. My flight's in 2 hours, so now I'm gonna buckle down and get some work done. Hello, my priority pass. I changed lounges to the Aspire Lounge, and this lounge is so much nicer. I really just came here to get a coffee. Bye, thank you, I really appreciated it. Copenhagen Lounge competition, Carlsberg versus Aspire. Well, Aspire wins. Carlsberg Lounge is really small in there. In Aspire, you have space to stretch out and do all your work. Now I gotta get to the gate. Look at this beautiful flight, Scandinavian Airlines. And a cool thing, this will be the first time in 2 years we're flying and I'm not wearing a mask on the flight. Bye, bye. Well, the sun is shining in Germany. Love it. This airport is ram-jammed, and unfortunately there is not a lounge in this Terminal 2. My priority pass only gets me to the lounges in Terminal 1. My next flight, 2 hours. Time to get going for my flight to Florence. If you guys are enjoying all these videos on traveling, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. That's much appreciated. If you want to support me and the channel and helping making the videos, consider giving a super thanks. That would be much appreciated. And if you yet aren't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. When we get home to Florence, I'm gonna update you on the list of countries I visited so we can compare. How many countries have you visited? Drop some comments down below and we're gonna tally them up. Now for this flight in Italy and also in Spain, you still gotta wear. Ciao, grazie. We are back in Italy. Porta Romana. And we are home. Look at this action going on here. Florence is alive Friday night. Okay, on the flight, I did tally up the number of countries I visited. And hold on, I have them here on my computer. Basically, I keep a spreadsheet of all the countries, of all the countries and all the places I visit. So if we look here, scrolling through all the countries, tallied up, 53 in total. And keeping a list is really cool too because it made me think of 2 more stories. One is the story to Singapore. That time we were traveling around Malaysia and we were in the southern tip and right there on the border with Singapore. So me, Marcello, and another friend, we decided to walk across the border, got a beer from 7-Eleven and drank it there on a bridge there to save some money, and then walked back into Malaysia, added another country to a list. Another story, one of regret. We were traveling around the country of Rwanda and we were there near the border of the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. I went all the way up on a motorbike taxi taxi to the border town. Across the border is a little town called Goma, and during that time they had a huge civil war going on, so it wasn't really a great time to cross the border into the DRC. But I wanted to, and I got right up there to the border and I could just taste another country, and unfortunately I did not do it, but I should have. And I took that lesson into today. Though I paid around 110 euro for that coffee in Sweden with the tolls back and forth, it was worth it. New experience and new country.